You have worked so hard to hide your history. How do you like it that the Most High is now revealing all of your history to be false? You know, you give us all these false designations, false identities. Like we are somehow called African American. African American was something that was made up in the late 1980s. No one before that called us African Americans. But people, you know, take that, eat that up, continue with it as if that's been a designation that we've had forever. You constantly change our identity. Why is it that our identity is constantly changing? Every few years, you guys give us a new identity. Would that be because we were the original people that had everything and that you took for yourself, and you're just hiding, you're concealing the evidence that would actually prove the fact that everything before you got here was given to us? You see all these people running around with all these different identities. It's like a whole world is full of identity theft. We always think it's just one group, but everyone is running around here claiming false identities. They make it sound as if we're the only ones that have been given a false identity. But can anyone prove that they've been the ones that have, whenever lands they're in, can they prove that they've always been there? See, the Most High gave every people their blessing. But everyone has always wanted our lands. They've always wanted, our resources. So it wasn't just one group of people that have taken, advantage of the situation and taken, the bag and taken lands and everything. It's a huge conglomerate. That's what keeps everyone quiet. Everyone is quiet because everyone is complicit. Everyone got a little piece of our blessing. Okay? Everyone got a chance to enjoy a little piece of our blessing. Because you always think like, oh, well, these people are going to start bringing out this information. These are going to start bringing out this information. Oh, look, Russia's trying to show us this. Or look, Russia's bringing out that. Russia's enjoying our lands as well. Ukrainians are enjoying our lands as well. That's why we can't listen to what, the definitions they give of who's who, whose lands are what, because they're all working to hide one people's inheritance. And that worked just fine when we were asleep. All of this worked when we had faith that these people were telling us some truth. But now we're realizing that they're telling us everything that they have told us has been a lie. Now, that's one thing with my Hebrew brothers that I don't quite understand. It's like, okay, how does that, you're going to sit there and talk about Esau and you talk about the other nations and how they lie about this and they lie about that. But then they stop it at that. They stop it at the Bible. They stop it at the scriptures. But I'm like, oh, hold on, man. If you know that they have given us a false identity in order to, elevate themselves and make it seem as if the Bible is theirs, why would you stop at just the Bible? What about history? Why is it that we have a 12 tribes chart that has all these different names and people that are living in these lands today are actually these certain tribes? How is that even possible? Like I got it when I first came into the truth. I needed that 12 tribes chart to kind of, wrap my mind around this. And that's still a way to kind of control the awakening. We thought that every person that was living in Colombia is this. Every Negro that lives in, the United States is this. Every Mexican that lives here is this. Every person lives in these certain areas in Central America is that, which is impossible because we've been moved from land to land, from place to place. You have to identify us by the curses that have been put on us. And you also have to identify us as the people who have tried to get away from the curses, okay, by making contracts and oaths with the heathen. That's how you have to really know. And that's why, I was cracking up yesterday because, this whole thing with Deion Sanders, like I told you, it's just a microcosm of what's going on. And they do the same playbook in sports as they do in life. So they were talking about all these white coaches that were getting on Deion and saying he hasn't paid his dues and, he's getting all this attention and he hasn't done this and he hasn't done that. And then they said, well, it's not just white coaches because the coach from Colorado State, he's black and he has a problem with Deion too. I'm like, there are plenty of so-called black people that have sold out to the system. So, but they want to be able to point to him and say, well, it's not all white people. Look, there's black people too that have a problem with him too. There are going to be people of all walks of life that are going to have a problem with our people. Everyone is supposed to have a problem with our people because the Most High has a chosen people that he has raised up. Look at Deuteronomy 7:6, above all other nations. Okay. Now he gives the other nations an opportunity to cleave to those people because they're the ones the Most High communicates with. And those are the ones that are going to show you what's pleasing to the Most High. You see what I'm saying? Now, see, when we were put down at the bottom, when we were going through our curses, then the Gentiles got to raise themselves up. And then they get to, portray themselves as the people that get to teach you what's pleasing to God. You see what I'm saying? But they never had a relationship with our power. So therefore, there's no possible way these churches today can lead you and show you what is pleasing to the Most High. That's why they had all these rules where their priests didn't read the Bible. They were not allowed to read the Bible. That was excluded writings. How is it that the instructions, the basic instructions, before leaving the earth given to the world by the Most High is reading that the priests of the Catholic Church were not allowed to read. And you go into Protestants, they want to make it sound like they're different. They're just protesting Catholics. But they still follow many of the same practices you do. If you're only following 66 books, you're Catholic. But you want to, the Catholics worship baby Jesus. The Protestants worship grown-up Jesus. But you guys are still worshiping Jesus nonetheless. And most of these churches, they don't even realize that they're actually worshiping Osiris, the sun god. The exact same practices that they have today in their modern day Christianity was actually the same practices that the Egyptians had during the time, of the Egyptians and their gods. And Osiris, was their god who had died and been resurrected, and kind of goes with the sun, because every day the sun goes down and the sun dies. And in the morning, the sun comes back up and is revived, comes back to life. That's all part of the whole sun worship thing. Okay, so they've taken a lot of our practices, and what happens is they've disconnected us from our practices. Okay, like I'm doing some research into like our fall festivals and things like that. Like we had the Samhain. They say it was pagan and that it was Celtic, but they went ahead and so they just changed it to Halloween. We were, honoring our ancestors. And I would think that would be something that we would really actually be doing. It would make sense because our ancestors are here to help us even to today. Their spirits are here to help us to learn, help us to deal with our, our problems, our issues. But the churches have made that something that is evil. You see what I'm saying? The Holy Spirit was sent to us to give us knowledge, understanding, because we were going to lose all that. So therefore, we weren't going to know anything about our ancestors, and the world does not want us to know anything about our ancestors. They want to leave all the things that they've done to our ancestors in the past. That's why they're always saying, well, it doesn't matter. You weren't a slave. I was not a slave owner, but my ancestors were enslaved to you, and you raped, robbed, murdered, and stole everything from them. And if it didn't matter and Jesus forgave you, why hide everything? If Jesus is all about love and he's forgiven you for everything, why are you hiding all of your history? Why are you hiding the Inquisition? Why are you hiding all the things that the Protestant church has done over here in the Americas? Why are you hiding all the slavery and all the things you guys have done? Why? So it's like you know that the Most High has been keeping track. You're just trying to tell people that he hasn't been in order for them to, feel comfortable right now while they're still, enjoying the last few minutes of their blessing. But that is now quickly coming to an end. You see what I'm saying? With our rise comes your fall. Just like when we fell was the time of your rise. And now that's all coming to an end. And you're having a hard time dealing with it. And you're trying to just, hear no evil, see no evil, but you're going to see it. You're going to see this truth. It's coming out every single day. We're going to be here doing the Most High's work every single day. The best thing, if you don't want to hear it, is to definitely walk away and not look at it, not really delve too deep into any studies, because as soon as you start to, dig deep, you're going to be exposed. Your churches are going to be exposed. They're going to be exposed every single day, because the time of them being able to just relax and enjoy their blessing has come to an end. And the Most High is now raising up his people to expose you and the truth. Shalom.